Hi guys, welcome back to the Player YouTube channel, and this week we're going to be taking a look at a rather nice car. This is the new Toyota C-HR, and if you're wondering what C-HR stands for, it's called Compact High Rider. Yeah, well, whatever. Let's crack on and have a look around the car. With the Toyota C-HR, you get 5 different trim levels. Now, I'm not going to go into each different trim level because it's just basically adding extra bits and pieces to this car. We'll talk about that when we get inside the car and I can show you what you get for your money. Entry level starts at around 25,000 UK pounds. The range topping orange edition, which is this car, and it is in a lovely orange as you can see, comes in at around 32,000 pounds, and that is fully loaded with everything, and that includes things like LED running lights, LED headlights, LED fog lights, and you get these amazing 18-inch lovely matte black alloys, which are a new thing for this model. Couple of engine choice, you get a 1.8 litre petrol or a 2 litre petrol. This one in particular is the 2 litre petrol. Let's go around the back and have a look inside. It's not a bad looking car from behind, as much as I love the sides of this car. It's very unmistakable, if that makes sense. In other words, you come up behind this, you know it's a Toyota C-HR. It's just something about it. I love this sort of aerodynamic bit at the top here. It's got a brake light built in. You get a rear wash and wipe, which is very nice. Again, another bit of an air thing going on here as well. The only thing I don't like is somebody's obviously gone to the drawing board and gone, oh, we'll put a couple of big exhausts in there, and then change their mind. So you end up with these sort of big plastic chrome things, which, yeah, they're just a bit of trim at the end of the day. There's no assisted tail lift on this, but it's not heavy. It's got some very good struts on the side here that pull it up for you. You do get this dreaded, horrible parcel shelf, which I'm going to take out just for the sake of it, because as you know, I absolutely hate these things. They're just a pain. There's nowhere to put it either. Look, once you get it out, it's got to go there. There's no way you can put it underneath either. So at the end of the day, yeah, whatever, let's just get rid of the damn thing. That's what you want to do when you buy one of these. So don't want the parcel shelf, get rid of it. No 12-volt adapter. We're not so worried about that. It's not the end of the world. 377 litres of boot space. It's got a good, decent sized boot on it. The only thing is this car is very high. It's way over even my thigh here. So in order to lift something heavy up, you're going to have to really, it's going to be quite difficult to get it over. And then you've got a lip, so it's going to drop over and you're going to end up scratching this because there's no scratch guards on it. All in all, it's not really well thought out. It's good looking, but not well thought out. Reminds me of an ex-girlfriend, but we won't mention her name. Underneath here, there is no space saver. I'm sure if you asked Toyota nicely, they would get rid of this pannier thing, because it's all sort of polystyrene, horrible thingy, and put you a decent space saver in here, which would work a lot better than the puncture, repair, whatever you want to call it, pump and gunge that you shove in the tyre and ruin it. And if you've smashed your wheel on a curb or something's happened, that's not going to do you any good anyway. One good thing, which I really do like about this, the battery is right here. So if you do get a flat battery, or you've got a problem, or you want to give someone else a jump start or something, it's very, very accessible. It's really, really nice. So easy to get to and change as well if you need to in a few years' time. So there you have it, really. Let's go and check what it's like for the passengers over there and see how comfortable it is. Oh, before I go, do get some nice big LEDs at the back here as well. It's a nice car. Right, let's check in the back what it's like for your passengers. So first of all, before I jump in the back, you do get a decent sized cup holder here, which is quite nice. That means you can actually put your cup somewhere. Let's jump in, see how easy it is to get in and out. It's not too bad. The door does open at a reasonable distance. The only thing I have noticed, I'm just going to pull that door too so you can see, look how small the windows are. They're tiny. If you've got a couple of kids in here, it's going to be, I think it could actually make them a little bit car sick. I feel a little bit confined, a bit claustrophobic, and it's very dark because these windows are tinted as well. Maybe that'd be a good option if you don't have the rear tinted windows. Okay, so speaking of kids and family cars, and also the fact that this is the Orange Edition range topping model, you would expect at least a 12-volt adapter in here so they can plug their bits and pieces in when they're going on long journeys. But there's no 12-volt adapter, there's no USB adapters, there's no independent heating controls. To be honest, I'm actually quite shocked that none of that is in here. You'd expect that from something of that sort of value, I feel. And also in the centre here, I'd expect an armrest that comes down when you're not using this as a central seat. And to be honest, look at the width of that. I'm not even going to bother trying it. The one good thing in the back here, which I like, is it's got a very low transmission tunnel. So if you do have to sit in the middle on that odd occasion, you're not going to have to struggle with it, but you're going to struggle with the amount of feet coming through because it's very narrow. This whole car is narrow. I love the seat styling. It's got a really nice sort of diamond pattern running throughout the car, which you notice it's in the doors, it's in the seats, it's everywhere. You get the obligatory ice fix points, which these ones are the poppy outy ones. They're not the foldy backy ones. They're going to get lost, so you're going to end up having to pay a few dollars or whatever for another load when you've lost those when you come to sell it. And to be honest, I don't think anybody over the age of like 18 months is going to want to sit in the back here anyway without having anything they can charge with. It is, and I'm going to say it is a typical Toyota. It's very, very comfortable. The whole seats just really fits nicely. And the shape of everything, the design of this, you get this sort of thing in the back here. I don't know why they bother even doing that anymore. Nobody reads magazines anymore. What else would you put in there? But all in all, yeah, it's doing the job. But Toyota, you need to go a little bit further, I think, for the passengers in the back. Let's go and have a look in the front and see what you get for your £32,000 as the driver. Right, let's check out up front as the driver what it's going to be like. Well, I always say this about Toyotas. If you've ever watched anything I do on Toyotas, I always say they make the best seats in the world. And this is no exception. This is really stunning. Let's shut the door a sec because I want to show you around in here what you get. So again, that sort of diamond pattern is all continued around you, even like the buttons are in a diamond shape. You do get, on the range topper, you get a JBL sound system. And I've got to say, this JBL sound system on this car is phenomenal. When you get everything hooked up, it's got, oh, and Toyota, well done, Apple Play and Android mirroring. Can you believe that? Finally, we've got it. So you've got your everything on here now. You've got your maps, you've got everything. It all works beautifully. You've got all the extra bits and pieces because this is the range topper. This is the orange edition, as I said. So you get extra bits like heated steering wheel. But they put the button for the heated steering wheel down here, over on the right here. So your starter's just up here. That's your electronic start there. And then you've got your self-park button here, because this comes with a self-park, so you can do your, if you're that lazy, you can just sit there and watch the wheel go around on its own. Comes with a cracking screen though. Excuse my, that's the audience. I could only get a few horses in today. They're rather enjoying what we're doing. You do get all the bits and pieces here on. Let me start it up. Makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? There you go. Silence. This is a hybrid. Come on, guys, you should know that. So there's no sound. I've got the. I'm going to turn the thing down. There we go. Look at that. Lovely big screen. As I said, Android mirroring and Apple Play, which is great. There is a bit of an issue in here. You've got one USB up the front here. That is all you've got. And once that's connected, so if your passenger's using it, the only other thing you've got is in here, which is a 12-volt adapter. So if both of you need to charge your phones or one of you use, it's just a bit awkward. I think you could do with a couple of USB points up there. You get two cup holders, one here and one here. And this one is the auto gearbox. It's a 6-speed auto. It's very nice. You can turn your traction on and off here. You've got your EV mode here. EV mode is when, if you're in town and the car's cruising around under sort of 20-25 miles an hour, it will just use the battery. And on the center section here in a minute, I'm going to do a little bit of filming for you and show you exactly how you can set that up using this button over here on the right. You've got cruise control on here as well. It's in a great position because you can see it on this car. There's a cutout in the steering wheel there, and just below it is the cruise control. The cruise control is the most difficult cruise control I have ever used in my life. And maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I've used a lot of cruise controls in my time. I've always said the Mercedes one is the best one in the world. It's absolutely stunning and easy. You just go clunk and it works. Whatever speed you're doing, it sticks at it. This one, you've got pause, you've got restart, you've got, it just really doesn't respond. And then when it does respond, it's, oh, it's working, great. So yeah, just not comfortable with this, with the cruise control on this car. You can you've got the voice recognition on here, you've got the telephone pickup on here. It's pretty much got everything you would want, and it's, as I say, it's the most comfortable car you can sit in. I love the design of the car as well. Everything wraps around you, and at night you can set the colours up in here as well. It's a really nice car. So all we really need to do now is get this thing out on the road and give it a road test. here we are then, out on the road in the Toyota C-HR, and this is nothing short of what I expected. It's comfortable, it's quiet, it's a hybrid at the end of the day. There's a battery behind me, it's got 180 cells, it's underneath the back seat there. When you're under 20-25 mile an hour, listen, it's just rolls along, it's so quiet. It is really nice actually, and there's no wind noise either. The only thing there is that I don't like is when you put your foot down, the noise from the engine, because the way this works is it keeps the revs really high and then the gears change sort of accordingly, and to be honest, it just sounds like it's over revving itself, and it's not a nice sound at all. You get that, you see what I mean? I don't know if you can hear that. It's just really, you get used to it after a while. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about hybrids, economy. So this is the 2 litre version. I think I mentioned that. There is a choice, there's a 1.8 or a 2 litre. The 2 litre is about 180 brake horsepower. It's a good, punchy little unit. I love it. And it's economical. I'm getting 47.5 to the gallon currently. That's not bad. That's normal diesel territory, but this is a petrol and it's a hybrid as well. So that all combined, I think at the end of the day, if you're going to go for this car, do you go for the 1.8 or do you go for the 2 litre? Go for the 2 litre. To be honest, it's just the right car if you're doing, good mileage on the motorways, if you're doing general runarounds. It's the right car. Let's talk safety equipment. So the car comes with a lane departure warning system and lane departure control. Now the warning system, I've actually turned it off. It's only good if you put it on the motorway, I feel, when you're doing long distance travel, because as soon as you cross a white line, you keep getting the warning. Beep, 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 beep. I'm not even going to demonstrate it because for 1 week it has driven me nuts, and I've just found out how to turn it off. And fantastic, it's off and it's not making the noise. Blind spot mirrors, essential in today's driving. I always say you've got to have blind spot mirrors. These are brilliant, they light up orange, you can totally trust them as well, really good. Also on the cruise control, which is difficult to use as I mentioned, although it's nice to see, when you do get it working, there is a distance control as well. So it will set the distance between you and the car in front, and you can virtually just sit there, and as long as you've got your hands on the wheels, this car will drive itself. It's very nice indeed and very comfortable. Autonomous braking in town, and it also has that emergency stop system where it feels if you're traveling a little bit too fast, it will warn you before it hits the brakes itself. Luckily, I haven't had those brakes come on. I wouldn't want it to happen. But it's there if you need it. We've talked economy, we've talked safety. Price wise, so we said 25,000 entry price, top of the range, this one 32,000. That's GB pounds, so you need to translate that to wherever you are in the world. Is it worth the money? I think it's thoroughly worth the money. First of all, it's a very good looking car, and I know that for a fact because it's not often, apart from super sports cars and some really different cars, that I get a lot of attention from people. I've pulled in the garage to put fuel in this car, I've been in the shopping centre, and people have come up to me and said, wow, love the new C-HR, love the look of it. They knew what it was, they really like it, they're very thinking about getting one of these, and they wanted to know the obvious things, what it was doing to the gallon, what's it like to drive a hybrid, how long does the battery last on this? That's a very good question. From what I've heard, it's about 3 to 4 years you need the battery looked at. Keep an eye on that. I'm not saying that is 100%, that's what I've heard. So with all battery powered cars, batteries don't last forever. If you've got a mobile phone, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So just bear that in mind in a few years time if you're buying one of these. I think residual values, i.e. what it's going to be worth in the next few years, could be very interesting because, again, Toyota, they've got a 5-year warranty with this car. So, in 4 years, 3-4 years when you change it, whoever's buying it has still got that warranty because it gets passed on. Servicing costs around about £190 a year. New tyres on this about £60 to £80 a tyre. It's not bad. It's not going to cost you a fortune to run this car. And all round, it's a great car. Let's face it, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Does it excite me? Yeah, nah, not really. It's a nice car. It's a compact SUV at the end of the day. That's what it's being sold as. It's pretty much underneath. It is the Toyota Corolla, but it's just not as low because it sits up a lot higher. I love the Corolla. If you click up here now, we did the review on the Corolla. that's a hell of a car as well. Toyota, I must admit, they're making some cracking cars these days, and compared with, you know, the competition, I think they're getting well ahead. There's a few little bits and pieces on this, like there's a place to put your phone down there. I tried putting my iPhone 8 in there and it just doesn't fit, it's too small. So they just need to catch up. You know, they've caught up with the Android mirroring and the Apple Play. That's good. I've got the Apple Play on at the moment. It's all plugged in, all working lovely. You've been watching me, AJ the Player. Thank you for watching. Just like to mention, we aren't a one-trick pony. We have over 150 videos. We do a lot of reviews on cars. We also have some other weird and wonderful stuff. We did a boat the other week. We're doing restoration projects. But our main sort of thing is the cars that we do. Now, if you're into your cars, into your boats, into your restoration, whatever, this all comes from a magazine that we produce called The Player. And again, if you look down here now, that is theplayer.co.uk. Go there. It's a free of charge online digital magazine. If you're a guy, you're into your tech, you're into your wines, you're into your golf, your travel, your cars, your boats, whatever, go and have a look at it and subscribe, because I think you will thoroughly enjoy that magazine. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not interested in that, or you both do both. Yeah, why not? Have a field day, have a party. Subscribe to both. And don't forget, like and comment. Yeah, keep your comments coming, because I just love replying to some of your comments, and I'm going a bit tongue-in-cheek there, as you probably gathered. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you next week with another car, another boat, or whatever it is we're doing. And yeah, drive safely.